The economy growing at a rate of 3.3% in the fourth quarter. That is well above the 2% estimate. So, yep, it's hotter. It's according to the data release that we just got. I want to talk about what that number could mean for the Federal Reserve. Former Dallas Fed President Richard Fisher's here. He's also senior advisor to Barclays, serves on the boards of Tenet Healthcare and Warner Brothers Discovery as well. Also a CNBC contributor. And we love having you here, especially when big, important numbers like this come out. It was hotter than people expected. And I think it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for, I imagine, you tell me, Mr. Powell, to lower the rate.
Well, the recession is receding, I like to say, because everybody was talking recession, recession, recession. And you have to give the FOMC credit, Powell credit. Exactly what we were hoping to see in the best circumstances has obtained. So I don't see any reason.
This is sort of good news in a weird way.
It's good news, and good news it also tells me why would you have to move right now? Everything's going pretty splendidly. Unless we see a pop-up in unemployment, which is still at 3.7%,
right,
or some disturbing development on the credit system, I think they have very good policy right now. I'm personally very happy with it.
What's the chance that they get back?
And they should be congratulated.
They should be congratulated for this news. Okay. Yes. What is the chance, though, that they get down to their goal in the next, call it, let's not even say 12 months, let's say 24 months.
Oh, 24 months.
24 months.
That's, 694 days. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you think you can get down to 2% in 2 years?
I think we can get close, yes. But again, why act if we still have an economy that's growing as it is? And if
I'm not suggesting you should.
Productivity is coming up. We'll see. Look, Andrew, rates are normal now.
Okay.
This is where things are supposed to be.
So you put this in a Goldilocks category of sorts.
Well, I don't like that term, but I think things have worked out pretty well.
Okay, let me ask you this then, because we keep talking about this being an election year. How do you rate or judge the economy?
Well, remember, I live in Texas, so it's brilliant. But I think it's doing well. I mean, and by the way, more and more people I talk to on the street are somehow thinking that Powell's going to accommodate politically. He won't. Remember, he beat the President of the United States, Biden, on the Hill to get renominated. He outnumbered him, just like Paul Volcker did when Reagan tried to impeach him. So there's a lot of confidence, I think, at the Federal Reserve right now, and there's no need to make any steps that might be construed as being politically convenient. As to who succeeds him in 2026, that's another story.
But you would say then that you would give the economy an A, a B, a what?
A plus.
A plus.
Yeah.
The economy gets an A plus from you. So what?
3.7% unemployment.
Oh, I'm not.
The kind of growth we just saw. Inflation is coming down. It's okay.
I'm not going to debate the point. I'm not going to debate the point with you, but I would imagine many of your peers in Texas have a very different view.
Well, remember, I come here as well.
Right.
So I don't just live in Texas 100% of the time. From that lens, things are great. Things are slowing down in Texas, but you're still leading the nation in every job category of growth. It's a great place to be.
Can we talk about this productivity piece? Because what do you think that's going to mean to the jobs picture? We were also talking about layoffs earlier in the broadcast today.
It's not that we have massive layoffs right now. We just don't have people as aggressively hiring or people as aggressively leaving the firms that they work for. But we get a lot of attention with the giant companies that are laying off people. We're not hearing that much from the small, medium-sized businesses that women and men run.
Right.
And the ones that are traded privately who don't trade publicly. They create 80% of the jobs in America historically and hold 50% of the jobs. They're not laying people off. They're worried about finding good people. And with this new growth number, I think that's going to be even more desperate to hold on to what you got.
So again, you don't think that this is going to impact the jobs picture for Jay Powell to the degree that he's trying to serve two masters, if you will?
Yeah. Well, you got inflation and you also have optimal employment.
Right.
Right now, with this kind of economic growth, people have jobs. People have jobs. As was said earlier, they spend money, as Rick Santelli said about. I want to know what Rick takes in the morning, by the way. He's got more enthusiasm than any human being on the planet. How many cups of coffee?
He does. I think he's just naturally that way.
When you think, though, about, let me just ask you a jobs question, because we were talking to this fellow in the 6 o'clock hour about AI and whether we actually think AI is going to actually take jobs in a meaningful way over the next 2 years. Do you believe that?
I can see it, particularly for some of the fiscal labor inventory management and so on, yeah, I think it's a significant force. However, it should create new jobs as well, as long as we keep our secondary education system up to par, which it is not now. So we have a lot of adjustments to make. AI should be a productivity enhancer. Let's see what happens.
Well, but I mean, part of the argument is that actually it's the blue-collar jobs that actually may be more protected than the white-collar jobs, oddly enough. And so we've been telling the American public for a very long time, you need to go to school and become an engineer.
Yeah.
When AI...
White-collar jobs have a capacity to adjust, mostly college-educated, I would think.
Right.
The blue-collar guys, we still need physical labor. We still need blue-collar workers. Some of that will be displaced by AI. Think about how you load a crate up onto something at PepsiCo, for example. All that new mechanism can help protect the safety of the workers, but also enhance their efficiency.
Can I ask you a consumer confidence question? Maybe you can see this in the numbers as a board member of Barclays. I don't know when you look through, checking accounts or credit card numbers. What
checking accounts? What are those? No, nobody has them anymore.
I still have a checking account.
I do too.
But in terms of how much money people still have in the bank. By the way, you probably could also see this around churn and other issues in your life at Warner Brothers Discovery.
Right.
Sort of where you think the consumer really, how the consumer is really feeling today. And I ask that in part because I think we still, there's this view that somehow stimulus money is still sort of in the system.
Well, we know that consumers are stretched on their credit cards. Those are very high rates to pay. We know that auto loan defaults are increasing on used autos in particular, but also new cars. So there obviously is a little bit of stress on the consumer. But again, Andrew, when you have a job, you can spend money. And we see that manifest in restaurants and entertainment, Taylor Swift, et cetera.